Does anybody have any questions or any comments?
This was good.
Yeah?
Very good.
Is there anything I'm missing that you think we might need to add into the presentation for our young people and First Nations communities, especially up north and stuff? Anything?
Well, like you said, more like hands-on teaching them how to make their own skirts.
Some of the First Nations communities that asked me to come up said that they'd put it in the budget for sewing machines, and I asked them to bring helpers. I said, you need to bring people who know how to use sewing machines to teach the young women how to use the sewing machines, but also how to make the skirt. And that they'll provide the materials and the ribbons. As long as they just get me there, then I can do the presentation. So that is what we're going to do. But I'm also going to apply with, I have a meeting with an Indigenous female who's a CEO of a company, and she wants to meet up next week after this workshop and have a discussion about how it went. And she wants to deliver it to some of the northern communities. And one of my other friends wants to deliver it. And she added it into some some that she put in for grants and stuff. And I talked to a few other people, and I found out Friendship Center is also doing ribbon skirt teachings. Maxi Treatment Center is going to be doing ribbon skirt teachings here in Saskatoon. White Buffalo does ribbon skirt teachings where they teach them how to make ribbon skirts. I'm really hoping that when we have round dance season come around, that the room is filled with rainbows and colors. And it's really important. I know that sometimes we can get in our ego, but I think it's really important, and I'll keep saying this, and it's totally just my belief, but I think that it's something we need to share. Like that we need to keep sharing, and that nobody owns this, and they're new. I don't speak for all Indigenous women or for elders or for anybody who makes protocols or teachings, but I feel like it's okay for non-Native women to wear ribbon skirts. I've made some for some teachers in this community because they teach my daughter. And then she goes to school and she says, hey, they were wearing ribbon skirts today. And I'm like, cool, hey? And she's like, yeah. So then she'll wear hers to school because those are the other people who take care of our kids. They raise our kids too. And you know, we just had a conversation about the Ukrainian pavilion and First Nations pavilion, and I sat at that table and they asked me, how do we change these situations? And I said, it's one thing to wear something that's ours and say it's yours, but it's another thing to say you're an ally and to say you're working with us. And I think that's something we need to share with our non-Native brothers and sisters, because it's important to have unity. We need to unite. We need to be in the rooms. We need to fill the rooms. We need to talk about things and have these discussions. And anger is okay, and sadness is okay, and frustration is okay. When you want to get through a situation with the person you're in a relationship with, you talk about everything. And you get mad, and you cry, and then you get over it. And then it gets better. And that relationship is the only way we're going to be able to develop that, is to have these kinds of dialogues and these conversations. So I want to thank you guys for coming tonight. I'm so thankful. Did everybody get a bag? Yeah.
I just want to say thank you so much for this wonderful gathering of bringing together all the people. I've never met you before. I just felt so compelled to come here, and I had to give you a little gift.
Oh.
Stairs, though. So here's a blanket for you and some jam I made.
Oh.
Thank you so much.
Oh, wow, jam, real jam, real jam. My daughter, real jam. So cool. That's too awesome. So if anybody wants to help going forward, who wants to come with me when I do these presentations, I need as much help as possible. You can't do these things by yourself. We don't raise our children on our own. We do it in the community. So I'm on Facebook under Talatatusis. You can add me if you want to come, because I'm going to get real busy real quick. And we're going to have to start doing these workshops, different places, different communities. And I'm going to need help cutting material, sewing, doing the presentations, counseling the young girls, you know, when they get triggered. Because every time I talk about my story, I always have someone come up and disclose. At least 3 or 4 girls or boys come and disclose about what happened to them and why they use. And that's all they need. They just need that. And so I'll need as much help as possible to come and do that. And it's really important to remember that if you got one of those skirts and you're going to teach something to one of these girls, you got to remember to allow them to honor their survival skills. Honoring your survival skills makes you solid. The things I learned in the streets when I was homeless and on drugs and doing everything just to get high and to get drunk was that you have to be willing to die for something, and that you're willing to do anything and everything to get it. And when I sobered up, my grandpa said, if you want to be sober, you have to be willing to do everything and anything to get it. You have to be willing to go through all the tests. And if you do that, you can help a lot of people. You got to be really, really honest, and it'll help. So when you share with these young women and you give them their skirts, tell them your story. And it'll help them to want to tell their story, which is really important. So I want to thank you for coming. My brother over there is looking at me. So if I could please ask everyone to try and make sure around your seats is clean. And if we could all clean up and take all the food away, we don't have to worry about the tables or anything. But if we could just, because we weren't supposed to have food in here. But if we could, I'm sure he could have heard that. But if we can clean up together, that'd be good. And thank you all for coming. There you go, stay.